In this video, we'll be looking at calculating perimeter and area of more complex shapes. So let's take a look at this first example. We notice that it looks rectangular, but there's a second rectangle that's a little bit jutting out to the side. So what we're noticing then is that this is an irregular shape. And what you can do is divide it into shapes that you are more familiar with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take apart this interesting looking shape and I'm going to break it down into two rectangles. So I'll draw a line right there, and when I'm calculating the area, I'm going to call this first box A1 and this second box A2. Next, we want to check to see that, as usual, all units are the same. And so now if we take a look at the dimensions along the outside, they're all in feet, so we can begin the question when we're ready. We don't have to do any conversions. Lastly, we want to make sure that we fill in any missing dimensions. Okay, so we look at the 12 across the top and we notice that we've got the 10, we've got 7. Now, if we look at this vertical distance here, this is the difference between the 10 feet along here and the 2 feet along here. So that's a distance of 8 feet, the 10 minus 2. And then if we want to look at this distance along here, it's the 12 across the top minus the 7 across the bottom, so 12 minus 7, that's a distance of 5 feet in there. So now we've taken care of any missing dimensions and we're ready to begin our calculations. So perimeter, as we know, is as if you're putting a fence all along the outside of the shape, or the sum of all the sides. And I can maybe begin at the bottom. So I've got 7 feet plus, and I'll go towards the left. So 8 up, 5 across, 2 more, plus 12, and finish at 10 to get an answer of perimeter. Throw that all into your calculator and don't forget your units, 44 feet. Now when you're doing your area, remember we've split our area into area 1 and 2. So we'll do area 1 first. It's length times width. So the length of area 1 is 5 feet times the width of 2. So that's 10 feet squared. And area 2, again length times width. So that's a length of 10 times a width of 7. Area 2 then is 70 feet squared. And so your area total is area 1 plus area 2, which is 10 plus 70. Therefore, your area total is 80 feet squared. Taking a look at this next example, we notice that again, it's an irregular shape. So, as above, make sure to divide into shapes you know. So let's take a look at what we can do here. I notice that there's a bit of a rectangular shape in the middle and like a circular shape along the sides. So I'm going to divide this into a rectangle in the middle, and those two semicircles along the sides, if you put them together, they're in fact a full circle. So I'm going to divide this into A1, which is my rectangular shape. And so that distance along the length of the rectangular is 3.75, and don't forget 2 along the edge. And if I was to take the area 2 of the circle, it has a diameter of 2 meters which then means that the radius is 1 meter. So I'm going to give you some time to pause the video, try out calculating the area and perimeter of the full shape. I'm going to caution you that when you do the perimeter, that you're just doing the distance along the edges. So you've got a full circle, so you can calculate the circumference. But when you're doing the rectangle, you're only doing these sides along the edges that I'm highlighting right here with my red pen. So make sure not to capture the inside because the perimeter is just the outside information. So go ahead now, pause the video, and take a look at the solutions when you're done. Hope you were able to get those answers for perimeter total, or total perimeter of this complex shape, and also the area.